What's going on, everybody? My name is John Hoke, and I'm your host of the very first JVH Live Victory podcast. As you can tell, I'm fired up because it's been way too long that I've been putting this off. Years, in fact. Basically, due to my own insecurities, kind of been hiding from public speaking and getting out there on media platforms just because I fear public speaking, which at the age of 33, after being involved in sports and being placed in leadership roles and captain, and at this point I've been training people for 10 years. I've been training myself for 20 years. You would think I'd be a little more comfortable, but you can't see my face. I'm beet red. I'm sweating. This makes me nervous, makes me uncomfortable, which is exactly why I need to do it. I got to get out of my comfort zone and expand my impact. I know, without a doubt, I'm going to provide great value and content in the way of training and how all the lessons that you can learn in the gym, in the weight room, can translate to the sport of life. I'll be sharing my experiences training, also the experience I've had training and coaching people. My gym is called JVH Performance. I began the business in December 2009, where I was subleasing space from another gym owner. I did that for about 2 years when, after that, unfortunately, he went out of business, and I built up a clientele of 35 to 40 athletes. At the time, I was only training athletes, and I was coaching wrestling, so I had a lot of wrestlers, football players, lacrosse players, baseball, kind of in the high school level. And I built up that clientele, and I had nowhere to go. Got there to work, to train people one day, and the doors were locked. Lights were off, out of business. So I had to make it work. I had to find a way to make it work because there was no way I was gonna give it all up. Working for 2 years to build up the business, 7 days a week, 16-hour days, whatever it took, I was doing it. But leading up to that point, I've always been obsessed. Passionate is not a strong enough word to describe how I feel about training and sports, and basically success and overcoming obstacles, mindset, acquiring mental toughness and being mind strong is one of my favorite topics to talk about. But, I just always loved intensity. I grew up working, for my father. He owned a construction company. I was 8 years old working, basically full time in the summer. And, my parents taught me core values at a young age. I understood, and I carry them with me now. Discipline, work ethic, integrity, and commitment. And basically applied those to playing sports and training as a young athlete. I mean, growing up, I played soccer, baseball, football, wrestling, kind of stuck with baseball, football, and wrestling. As I got into high school, I experienced a state championship in baseball and a second place finish in football my sophomore year. Also had a lot of individual success and team success in wrestling. And, it was all due to just those core values I was taught at a young age, and I try to share those with all the athletes and adults I train and coach today. But after high school, I moved on to play football in college, small school, Division III school, where I thoroughly enjoyed that. I liked playing at that level and had an opportunity to be voted captain for 2 years, which was great, but it was also super uncomfortable for me. Like I said, public speaking is a major fear of mine, which, it is hard to believe. I'm 33. I've been coaching and training people for 10 years and constantly in front of groups. I've trained teams. I've trained camps of hundreds of kids. I don't know how I do it. When I get there, it's all a blur, but still I'm uncomfortable, but I will get better. I will share clear and concise messages and content for you in regards to training, mindset, overcoming adversity, all methods of training, how to build strength, size, hypertrophy, improve performance, speed training, fat loss, training as you get older, many different styles and techniques. I have a lot of experience in weightlifting, some experience in powerlifting, kettlebell, barbell, body weight, all the stuff that's tried and true. I've been training for 20 years myself, and like I said, training people for 10 years. And I've read countless books. I have a library full of books at my house. College education, 7 certifications. So I've basically been studying my face off and hiding via social media out of my own fear and insecurities. But all that build up, it's time to stop hiding, get it out, provide value, have a better impact on more people. So that's why I'm fired up. I know for a fact I really believe in everything I'm going to share. I'm also going to invite some guests on this show, guests that I know for sure can spread a similar message, maybe in a different way, definitely in a better way than I might be able to. Fellow gym owners, meatheads, anybody that I think will add value to your training and improving in the sport of life. So after college, I did not want to stop training. I didn't want to, get a regular quote-unquote job, but I did get an internship or whatever you call it, startup job at a commercial gym in the town of my college, which was a terrible experience, which I pretty much the only thing I ever quit in my life, but it ended up being a blessing. I only did it for about 3 months. I was I don't even remember what it was called, personal trainer in training. Is that a thing? I don't even know. It might be. But so in order to get the job, I had to take a course. It was a 3-day course, and I'm going there. I'm all fired up. I'm like, all right, so I'm going to learn, a ton of stuff about training. They're going to teach us stuff's going to be practical. We're going to learn techniques, program design, all this great stuff. And we didn't do any of that. Actually, we talked about marketing and how to sell personal training packages for 3 days, which immediately turned me off. I was not aware that I was getting into a sales position. I thought I was going to be a trainer, a coach. But that didn't happen. I tried to make it work. It was miserable. I basically got to rack weights and try and sell packages. I was making $8 an hour. And my non-work hours, I would train. And I would train pretty much the same way I did as an athlete while I was playing sports, which was definitely not rare in that commercial gym setting. And it intrigued my fitness manager, who then presumed to ask me for training advice. I'm like, bro, why am I giving you advice when I'm like the new guy and you're supposed to be teaching me? What's going on here? So, basically that was it for me. I walked away, came home, didn't have a plan, went to work with my father again. And in the meantime, I had some contacts. I was still kept in touch with other coaches that I had growing up, and just got involved in the youth wrestling program and started coaching that. Volunteer work through and through, but loved doing it. I was just happy to be back and around athletes and, out of that commercial gym setting, and really focus on learning how to train people and program design and get results and, all the stuff that really matters in a quote unquote fitness or gym business. People tend to forget that the most important thing in owning a gym is training. It's all about the training. It's all about delivering results and helping people achieve goals. It's not about focusing on the greatest, latest fad and trend and getting 1,000 likes for posing and taking a selfie in the middle of a workout when you should be training and focus and really having intensity during your workout, which I'm basically being a hater right now, but honestly I don't care, because I know deep down that if you want to get results in training or in life, you need to eliminate distractions, you need to be focused, and you need to put your head down and freaking go to work. Unfortunately, our society, if you're not constantly connected and on social media platforms, it can make it difficult to grow. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what makes you happy, and what makes me happy is training my face off and having that interaction with people where they can feel how much I care, how much the coaches care in my gym, how much all the other members care about their achieving their goals. And it's just iron sharpens iron. So that's where it's at. That's where I'm at. But I'm also trying to grow the impact, which is the reason for this podcast. So I'm going to pull from my 20 years of training experience, 10 years of coaching experience, provide as much value as possible. I'll combine all my education, college education, 7 certifications. I study every day. I don't listen to the radio. I listen to podcasts on my car ride every day. I have a library full of books, and like I said, just 10 years of experience coaching people, which experience trumps all. Still learning every day, and just keeping that white belt mentality. Hopefully I can share things that will help you avoid all the mistakes I've made, and keep you focused on training and fired up to get in that gym every day and just get after it. Training has helped me in so many ways beyond PRing and achieving goals in the gym. It's helped me overcome obstacles in life and business with, family and health and my kids. So I feel obliged to share all this stuff. Content's definitely going to include all types of training, all methods, training for strength, conditioning, hypertrophy, improved performance, speed training, fat loss. I have a lot of experience training and coaching weightlifting, some powerlifting experience, body weight, kettlebells. I've been designing programs, so program design for a long time. Mental toughness, which, like I said, is one of my favorite topics to discuss, and overcoming obstacles, learning from failure, not just failing, but learning from it and applying right away, and the importance of, developing strong relationships and just having purpose. If you have a very strong purpose and desire to, show up to the gym, you're more than likely to see it through and stay committed. I'm going to share principles I use and I believe in, coaching both sport, because I do still coach wrestling, and coaching for and strength coaches, and all the things that encompass basically what I refer to as the victory lifestyle. I am pumped. I finally manned up to start this bad boy. My excuses were so weak. I kept putting off buying a microphone, having set up. I wanted a studio. I wanted it to be perfect. My podcast was going to be awesome. And after 2 years of making those excuses, I said, F it. I'm going to start and just record from my phone. Don't care about the sound quality. Don't care if I have a intro or outro. I'll get to that later. I just want to get all this stuff out there to provide value to you. If this resonates with you, please share with somebody. You can follow me on Instagram at JVHcoach_Hoke, my last name, Hoke. You can also head over to my website, jvhperformance.com. Subscribe for the newsletter. You automatically get a free 16-week training program. And, I encourage anyone and everyone to comment, request, topics for episodes. Feel free to ask questions, give feedback. It'll make the show that much more enjoyable, and it'll help me, provide the value that I'm looking to provide for you, because I know what you want to hear about. If I don't know something, no biggie. I'm sure I know somebody that can, help you with a given topic. Like I said, I have very close friends, gym owners, and just meatheads that I've been training with for what feels like a lifetime at this point. And I've really focused on surrounding myself with the right people and avoiding negative energy, negative people. And I would love to share their insight as well. So thanks for listening. Sorry for the random rant, but this build up, it needs to get out of my head. I got to get it out there. I hope you love it. I know you'll love it. No more waiting around. No more talking about it. Join me next week for the very first topic, which is going to be all about taking the first step, which is basically everything I was talking about with this podcast. So looking forward to it, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.